I want you to picture this. You see a job posting. Something about it looks right. The title fits. The company sounds interesting. The location works. So you spend an hour tailoring your resume, another hour on the cover letter. You apply, then nothing. Or worse, you get to the interview and realize halfway through that this isn't the right role after all. Welcome to week 16 of the Pathfinder Campus weekly blog series. I'm Barry Morgan, and together with Jessica Locke and Gord Sarkissian, we've developed a community that supports students beginning their career and adults in the midst of a career transition. Our weekly blog series is designed to provide helpful tips and guidance as you navigate a major life change, and we hope you will allow us to join you on your journey. I want to share a quick story. Years ago, I was teaching hospitality management at a career college. One of my students was working part time in housekeeping at minimum wage, and her long term goal was to become the executive housekeeper of a luxury hotel. I knew the HR manager at a well known five-star hotel chain, the kind of company that offered real training, real advancement, and a clear career path. I forwarded her resume, and an interview was arranged. She went in believing her qualifications would carry her. She hadn't researched the company, hadn't looked into which properties they operated, couldn't explain why she wanted to work for them specifically, or how that role fit her long term goals. The interview ended quickly. The HR manager told me afterward she seemed unprepared, like she really wasn't very interested. She lost a role that offered nearly double her current wage, full benefits, and a direct path towards a career she really wanted. All of that gone because she didn't spend a few hours doing her homework first. That gap, the gap between how a job looks from outside the company and what it's actually like on the inside, is one of the most time wasting problems in a job search. Today, I want to show you how to close that gap before you apply. Opportunity research is the practice of investigating a specific role, organization, or sector before you apply. So you're making an informed decision, not a hopeful one. It's the difference between choosing where you would invest your energy and just reacting to whatever shows up in a search result. It includes things like reading beyond the job description to understand what the role actually requires, looking at the hiring organization's financial health and recent news, researching what people in similar roles actually say about the day to day work, and talking to people who know more than you do about the field. Here's the frame that matters: every application you submit is an investment of your time and your energy. Opportunity to research is how you evaluate that investment before you make it. So you're spending that time on roles that are genuinely worth pursuing. When you skip opportunity research, two bad things happen. First, you apply to roles that aren't actually a good fit, and you waste your time pursuing things that won't work out, or worse, lead you somewhere you didn't actually want to go. Second, when you get to interviews, you show up without the context to ask smart questions, to stand out from the other candidates, or to evaluate whether you actually want that job. Here's the flip side: candidates who do their research show up differently. They ask better questions. They speak specifically to what the role actually needs. They're able to connect their own experience to the real priorities of the organization, not just the generic language in a job description. And that specificity is rare and it's noticed. The trap is treating the job description as the full picture. Job descriptions are marketing documents. They're written to attract applications, not necessarily to give you an accurate portrait of what the work is actually like, what the team dynamics are, or what's really driving the hire. The real requirements are often buried or absent entirely. Take a quick test. Have you ever applied to a role or gotten into an interview process and then found out something that made you reconsider? Something that was never in the job description? That's the gap that research closes. The goal isn't to find a reason not to apply, it's to make sure you're choosing deliberately, not just hoping for the best. Here are three levels of research to do before you apply to any role worth your time. Layer one, read the role, not just the title. Look past the headline requirements. What does the role actually prioritize? What skills or experiences show up repeatedly in the job description? What does success look like for this hire in the first 6 months? If the description doesn't say, then that's a good question to be asking uh, in the interview. Layer two, research the organization. Go beyond the about page. Look at their recent news, their financials, if they're public, their Glassdoor reviews for patterns, their LinkedIn presence. Are they growing or contracting? Have they had leadership changes? What are their people saying about the culture of the organization? And finally, layer three, talk to people. If you can find someone who has worked or works for the organization through their network or through LinkedIn, a short conversation will tell you more than an hour of desktop research. Ask specific questions about the role, the team, and what the culture actually rewards. This doesn't have to take days. For a role you're serious about, 1 or 2 or 3 hours of research will make your application and your interview performance measurably better. So, what's next? You've built your target employer list, you've had your first informational conversations, you've reactivated your network, and now you've had a way to evaluate every opportunity you come across with clear eyes and a real information. That's job search that's built on intention, not just activity. This week, the deep dive on Tuesday gives you a complete framework for researching any role and any organization before you apply. On Wednesday at 7 p.m., we meet live to discuss these topics, and you're welcome to join us on Zoom in the community meeting room at pathfindercampus.ca. On Thursday, the practical exercise post walks you through evaluating a specific opportunity you're currently considering. And the reflection post on Saturday invites you to think about what you're really optimizing, because knowing that shapes every decision in a search. Do your research, make an informed choice, move forward with confidence, and remember, you don't have to do this journey alone. The coaches at Pathfinder Campus are always available. Reach out. We're looking forward to hearing from you.